0, 1, 2, 3. Let's get started.
Oh, that's real good.
Why they stopping me?
That shit.
Doesn't matter what they say.
All right, fellas, what's going on?
What's happening, man?
What's going on, guys?
This is Martin.
What's going on?
Welcome to the cast. So, Megan, somebody who's watching the show, asked if we would cover CERN.
So we were talking about doing some alien stuff, kind of X-Files, weird stuff, Sasquatch, aliens. Martin's passionate about aliens right now. There's a lot of conspiracies out there. So we were talking about doing that. And then Meghan and Katy had asked about CERN and kind of crazy stuff with that. So I did some research on that. But we're gonna just talk about it, man. We're gonna talk about aliens. We're gonna talk about tears in the time-space continuum. Fucking all of it.
All right. So, what did you learn? I guess start with CERN. What did you learn about CERN?
All right. So do you guys even know what CERN is?
No, why don't you take us from the top?
So CERN is actually, so a lot of people are like, CERN's doing all these things. Well, it's what we're really talking about is how they're doing it. But CERN is a European organization for nuclear research. So like a super group of people that are studying particle physics. So things that are so small that you can't really see them.
Atoms.
All the way down to protons.
All the way down to protons.
Crazy.
Okay.
But they were founded back in 1954, and there was 12 kind of member states. So, you know, think of Europe. Now they've got 24 members. They got a couple of people that are countries that are observers, which is Japan and the U.S.
Okay.
Where we can like get their data, but we're not really doing the experiments and whatnot.
Okay. Does the U.S. have a version of this?
I mean, I don't know. This one is in Geneva, Switzerland.
Okay. Everything's in Switzerland, bro.
And well, so this, and again, this is the organization. I'm sure they have campuses all over the place.
Okay.
They're a crazy thing. Before I get into kind of what the Large Hadron Collider is and stuff.
Okay.
At their headquarters, they've got a statue, and you'll think this is interesting, of Shiva the Destroyer at the entrance of this CERN campus headquarters.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Like a deity, goddess that, you know, is like a world destroying.
Don't get me started on goddesses and gods.
And
But
it's
what-
like a.
But what are they trying to do? They're trying to find the God particle. I forget what they're trying to do there.
So what they did is they built the Large Hadron Collider, and that's a 17-mile loop. It's a machine that's a 17-mile loop that accelerates protons to 99.9999% the speed of light. And they get one ripping this way, and they get one ripping that way, and then they run them into each other. And I mean, they said all sorts of things. There's all these conspiracies that they're creating, and not conspiracies. I mean, I think I've read some articles that were pretty trustworthy about like micro black holes and stuff like that. Just trying to understand particle physics and everything like that.
So what happens if they make a micro black hole and they can't get it to stop?
So that's the worry. Like if they did something that completely changed the entire world, or will even cover the entire existence, and no one's really telling them kind of what to do. They're just like, hey, we're going to go do this thing.
So to make this simple, when they collide these things,
Yes.
this is basically like creating a Big Bang.
So exactly. So
Okay.
originally the purpose was they wanted to recreate the conditions of the moments after the Big Bang.
Okay.
To be able to measure the heat and everything like that. And what they wound up finding, so they built the LHC, we'll call it, because it's easier than saying it all out. So they built the LHC in September of 2008 is when they finished it.
Okay.
And they powered it on for the first time.
2008, dude. What was I doing in 2008? It's been quite a while.
The housing crisis.
Oh yeah.
You were selling.
I was selling cars still, Nissans. I was selling Nissans because I was part of that crash.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I didn't go to the jewelry until after.
Cash for clunkers.
Cash for clunkers.
So
Right.
they powered up in 2008, and everyone's worried. Like all the laymen's out there, the guys like us sitting around bullshitting about conspiracies, are like, dude, they're gonna fucking create a black hole. It's gonna swallow the Earth. We're all doomed.
Do you think they have like a Dr. Octopus set of arms like in the movie? Because remember he made like a sun in the Spider-Man movie, and he used his arms to like contain the sun.
So that's like fission. I don't know that if you would experience fission from these experiments in that capacity where you'd be able to like create it and then have it continually be stable and burn.
Now I wonder if like
I don't know a ton about that though.
I wonder how long it would take for the black hole to like swallow the whole Earth.
Time is relative.
I don't think we even
Depends on the
understand
size.
a black hole like that though.
They understand.
Like we know that like you don't want to go in it
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why are we trying to make one here?
because we don't understand what it is and we want to know what it is.
That
We have this
innate
desire.
curiosity.
We have this desire to know these kind of things. Okay, so interesting fact, because since you brought up these gods and goddesses, I just want to bring this point to that. So a lot of people don't understand that in ancient religions, when they had gods and goddesses, those are more what you equivalent today to Mother Nature. Because they did not have the understanding that we have now, they viewed this then, these unexplainable events, this is where they get these gods and goddesses from. So the reason they put statues like this in front of these places is because it's a way of paying homage to this, what they think is this ancient knowledge they've gained. We gained it from this ancient knowledge. But it's also drawing example that these gods aren't like a real thing, right? They're the telling of the same story. Humans are going to try to figure it out. That's our story, is that we're going to keep trying to figure it out. That's that tree in the garden thing, right? They're going to eat for knowledge. So all these advancements that they make to do this, it's because they want to figure out the very foundation of creation. So you got to start with the Big Bang.
Yeah, but now that they've gone down that path, let's talk about what we've started to notice.
Okay.
So in 2012, they found what they call the Higgs boson particle, which they also refer to as the God particle.
Yep.
I did a little kind of just googs on it, and it just came up with basically
You said googs.
they use it to like find out like what they're gaining from it is how particles gain mass. So like if the Big Bang goes off and you've got all these particles just out there, how do they eventually wind up coming together and forming all these things like stars and planets and moons and asteroids and nebulas and galaxies?
Everything does that though.
Yeah, but they want to know how.
But we already know how.
Yeah.
Like a galaxy in an atom, in a human, in a goat, in anything that, even a tree, in a seed, it all follows the exact same principle of physics, just on a bigger or smaller scale. So really what we're trying to figure out is where was that original cell?
But but for what though? Like I don't understand. Like obviously, like all right, so we know. But like, what are you gonna do with that information?
Well, then that goes into like Project Bluebeam and Blue Book and stuff like that, where you're gonna start having these things where there is, and let's put our tinfoil hats on real quick. There is a group of people that want to do away with religion. They want to do away with like secular government, where it's like small government, and they do want the whole world to get along, and they're going to do that however they're going to try to do that.
Through knowledge. So they have to figure out the steps. Like the Big Bang Theory doesn't prove or disprove anything. Physics tells us that the Big Bang Theory happened. We've gotten that far in the process. Now we're trying to say we're going to make our own Big Bang. Because,
Just trying to be God,
Yeah,
man.
dude, we're just trying to be gods, bro.
Just trying to be gods.
Like, from the beginning, they wanted to be gods. To the end, they want to be gods. And this is where...
Bro, we're growing.
I think you have to figure out immortality first before you can.
They're
before you
way
figure-
ahead
what
on
they're-
that.
that's
What
what
the
they're trying to
robots
do.
are for. Yeah. So
Download your consciousness today.
yes, if they built you. So since 2008, which is interesting because you said this was 2008
When they
So if you remember,
first started it up.
Facebook is 2008. At the point of 2008, the internet became a two-way thing. Remember, before that, the internet was only readable. You went on there, you looked up pictures, you looked up photographs,
But you weren't really interacting.
but you
with
weren't
the internet.
interacting with the net. That really came around 2008 when the technology was invented where now you, as the end user, could talk to the net. When you began talking to the net, all that information was stored. A lot of people say, they get confused about this, they ask about blockchain technology. All blockchain is all that information. So imagine that all that information is in a strand. But now the computers are smart enough to understand who did that strand. That's why you log in with passwords. That's why you have 4-digit codes. The idea was it was for security, so no one could break into your person. Okay, so they've already created a digital person for you online. You exist in the blockchain already as a digital human being that cannot be interfered with anybody that is not authentically you. It cannot be hacked, it cannot be distorted, and it built that profile. Okay, that's gonna help you become omnipotent, all-knowing, all-powerful, because we're gonna be able to, we could do it right now. We could break that information down in seconds. That's what AI is. AI
Especially
is
when you-
all of our digital collective consciousness.
Wrap in quantum computing.
It's just all the words in the internet fed into a computer.
Okay, but the only thing that speaks words are us.
Yeah.
So it's us on the internet creating one superhuman on collective thought.
Did y'all ever watch that movie Her? Did y'all ever watch that movie Her?
Her. No.
It was with Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin
Phoenix. So
Was it like
yeah,
I forget how far in the future.
didn't
I honestly
watch it.
think we're almost caught up because I think it was like in the 2030s or whatever, right?
Okay.
Gotcha.
So what they did was they made everybody like AI buddies, like assistants, right?
Mm-hmm.
Scarlett Johansson was the voice of his AI person. So I might be wrong on the plot a little bit, but I do know how it ends. Eventually, all the AI assistants start communicating to each other. They start advancing exponentially fast. Like we're talking about in a matter of like months or weeks. I don't remember, but like definitely the latest months.
Yep.
And they became so advanced, each of the assistants, that they basically were beings that exist, like Josh is saying, that exist in the internet.
Yeah.
And they all collectively got so intelligent that they no longer, like, for them to communicate with their human, it was like talking to somebody every few thousand years, because they were like operating so much faster than humanity. And eventually they figured out a way, and they were cool. They told the humans, hey, we figured out a way to like transfer to a higher dimension. So she broke up with Joaquin. She eventually became his girlfriend. And in that movie, they didn't like put them into like robots, right? Like it was, they literally only existed on computer screens and phones.
Yeah.
And they ascended to a higher dimension.
So right now in Japan, they've already built the bots. So the thing
They did
is,
that in Boston too.
yeah, the AI,
Boston Dynamics.
the AI is going to go into the bot first and make the bot invincible.
Nah, the scary thing
What
is
they're hoping is that the AI will teach them how to implant our consciousness
but
into
So
the
do
bot.
you guys-
would you come back as a human bot, or would you come back as one of those cool cheetah bots?
y'all are
I'm not coming back as any bot, dude. What are you talking about?
y'all know that guy Lucky Palmer?
Yeah, I've heard of
Andrew?
him.
Okay. So he has, his vision is, you got to think about it. like the Matrix. That dude, Agent Smith, could jump into anything and become it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So this guy said, yes, we're going to have the AI, and it's going to, and he's talking like in a military aspect where he has the AI system, but the AI system can instantaneously jump into and control anything that has basically the ability to read the program.
So like Jarvis from Iron Man, kind of.
Even scarier though.
Like it'll turn into a car.
Yeah,
Or it can like go into a car, not turn
so
into a
yeah,
car.
so it could go into a car and then say,
onto a TV and
"Hey
then
Martin,"
back onto my phone.
Yeah, and hey Martin, you said some nasty things about AI online, so I know you're driving your beautiful, Volkswagen down the road. Now you're going to go 120 into a bridge embankment, kind of like one of those.
I just hope that if they ever get
things,
smart
you know?
enough, they just go they just beam out of here and then we can just go back to our regular lives before AI.
Let me tell you something.
Hopefully,
That would be dope.
I'm waiting on the kingdom, bro.
Your boy
y'all
Jack
keep doing
Bannon,
that
he
shit.
was right, dog. He warned you, bro.
All right.
He said it's the truth.
If it wasn't the mark of the beast or whatever you say,
Okay.
would you come back into a humanoid bot body or would you come back into one of the cool cheetah robot bodies?
No, man. Look, I'm gonna say this, and I mean this in the sincerest way. Living on this planet with you guys
for eternity.
sucks ass.
Okay,
I don't wanna do that
no,
eternally.
just throw that. We're not talking about that. Just
Oh, okay.
suspend your disbelief or whatever.
Okay.
I'm asking you, what would you come back as? Would you come back?
This is a real Christopher Walken question. This is a, would you rather be able to fly or have a tail?
I'd come back as a monster truck, dude.
A monster truck?
Yeah, dude.
Again, I think the hope would be is we could do the same thing and interface all right, so we are a brain inside of a skeleton that is armored by flesh, and we run these bodies around.
Yeah.
Now, if you could take the us out of us,
I'd want to go in a monster truck.
okay, for like a day or for like forever.
I mean, I think it would be cool, like if you could like jump in and out of like different things, right? Like,
but the
like
first
today
one
I'm
you're like,
yeah,
I'm
the
a
first
fucking-
one would be monster truck,
Bigfoot, here we come.
and like I wouldn't want to be like in a monster truck rally. Like I would just want to be monster truck, like cruising around like I-10 or something.
Look, I'm claustrophobic, so like the idea of me going into, I understand that I'm already in a machine. Like I understand that as I sit here right now, I'm in a machine.
A meat machine?
It's just made of different
Yeah.
material, right? So that I understand that what's important is what is the consciousness. So the problem is that shit would make me feel claustrophobic, dude. Because it's gonna be weird going from this meat machine into like I don't know what it's gonna be made of, a metal machine.
Oh, dude, I'd come back as a fighter jet, dude.
Josh,
That's what I was about to say. I'd come back as an airplane because I got
A fighter jet would be so badass, dude.
At least out in the. Now I would want to be like a
So-
humanoid flying fighter jet.
what if, so I was just about to say, what if AI lets us, our AI overlord lets us build effectively Decepticons
Those
and
Transformers. Like that's where we're headed towards becoming Transformers.
Yeah.
Dude.
You guys haven't even thought
That would
about
be
this.
so awesome.
You guys haven't thought about the scariest part about this though. Okay, so the amount of power it takes to power the AI is so much power. But you know what processes things with no power?
What?
Your brain.
Our brain has electricity in it, though.
Yeah, but it processes it with no output.
Where does that
like
electricity come
such
from?
a better
Well,
frequency.
What do you mean? Where does it come from? Our creator?
Our creator?
That's why we're unique humans.
God?
We're different, dude. You gotta-
I mean, animals have electricity in their brains too.
Okay, well, let's plug their brains into AI and see what happens.
Probably something pretty sweet, dude. I want to put like a octopus's brain into AI or like a dolphin,
Yeah, I don't think
because they're apparently like super duper advanced.
All
We
right.
just don't understand what they're saying.
It's not our
speak dolphin.
But it's not our brains, though. That's why we haven't figured it out. If it was as simple as our brains,
Oh yeah, I mean it's
they
gonna
would have
be
already figured it
Yeah,
out.
it's gonna be hard. It's not.
There is something in us that is different than everything
We're not a
else.
PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 where you can just like take our memory card out and stick it into something else. Like,
The biggest thing is the efficiency at what our brain is capable of doing as far as processing information,
We go
running our
like-
body in the background,
Yeah.
and everything that
It's
we
crazy.
do.
We have
On
the
how
power.
much? 1,200 calories? I don't know what that
to the
breaks
Earth,
out
that's
to.
nothing.
how much electricity? How much electricity?
So if they had to feed you a
watts or whatever.
bowl of corn a day,
yeah,
to keep you going,
but you're assuming
and then all they got to
And
do
now
is
you're
plug
the
you
Matrix,
in.
bro.
You're
They're already
assuming
getting
You
you
literally
ready.
have a body that's just
You're-
sitting there
you're
being
assuming-
kept alive
but you're
just for
assuming-
consciousness.
You're assuming that we already don't have secret technology that like.
Oh, they've experimented this on people. I'm convinced.
No, but what I mean, like, I definitely 100% believe that we are like the fossil fuel combustion that we get to the privilege of
Why also
being
have-
poisoned by. Like, they have world governments. I'm not just talking about the U.S. Different world governments. They definitely have clean, unlimited energy that they technology that they're keeping under wraps.
How come we can sit around and bullshit about like how the government's keeping clean energy from us, but then we're so shocked when something actually comes out that's real, and we're like, oh, they would never do that.
Like
oh
what?
wait, hang on, like dude, any number of things. I don't want to get political on
No,
this, but
hang on. I got a question before you go there, though. Why y'all so afraid to die?
I ain't afraid to die.
I'm ready to sleep for a little bit, bro.
Again, if it,
These bones are tired, dog.
I don't desire.
No, I just want-
I'm not saying you want to live forever, but these people, that's what they're trying
That's
to do.
what they're trying to do. Yeah.
I just want to be a fighter jet for a little while, dude.
Why don't you just go see if you can fly a fighter jet?
I don't think. Can civilians legally learn how to
There's
fly
going to be
fighter jets?
Just make enough money, bro.
Pretty soon, we're all
With
going to be in the
enough money, you
militia
can do whatever you
anyway.
want.
So
I don't think there's like a civilian fighter jet.
No, they're not gonna. Dude, he doesn't have the. Y'all both got glasses. Y'all are both. Out
yeah, we can't.
immediately.
I can't do that. That's
See?
dangerous. It's dangerous for us to drive.
They might let
Yeah.
y'all drive a monster truck though,
Fuck yeah! I mean,
like an armored.
so to swing back to the LHC real quick, and another thing with all this energy and AI and stuff like that. Do you know what the Mandela effect is?
Yeah,
All right. Do you know why they call it the Mandela effect?
I do not.
I mean, how does it do with Mandela? I don't remember.
Yeah.
But
So a ton of people have a memory
Mm-hmm.
of going through their life and Nelson Mandela being arrested, put in jail, and that's where he died.
I remember that when I was a kid. I remember
That he died in jail.
I remember when he was I found out that he was free. I was like, I could have sworn he died.
Yeah.
Right, and that happens all the time.
And then when in reality he was released and later became the president of South Africa.
Yeah, I remember that.
I always knew that he was imprisoned, released, and became I did not know that.
There's
he was
some
ever
other
dead.
ones with cartoons like
The Berenstain Bears.
Looney Tunes, the way Looney Tunes is
Yep.
spelled.
So if you really look, that all started around 2012.
Oh, y'all are gonna know about this one. This is another like more recent one. Everyone swears, and I'm almost positive when I was a kid, Sinbad the comedian made a movie where he played a genie.
Yeah.
But
It's Shaq.
it's Shaq. But I swear when I was a kid, there
Sinbad. There was
both
two of
those
them.
movies
Sinbad.
existed.
Yeah, Sinbad
Both
was
those-
in my mind.
Yes.
And you can't convince me otherwise.
Yeah, no.
Sinbad.
I remember
was
seeing the cover
definitely-
where he's like smiling and he's like got the genie.
Yeah, purple
like,
Are
background.
y'all talking about Shazam?
Yes, but it was
there was
Sinbad.
a Sinbad.
There was a
one.
Sinbad version of
You
this
remember
movie.
Sinbad, right? The light skinned dude with the red hair. Like,
Yeah, I know what you're talking
yeah.
about.
Like there is a movie. I swear, when I was a kid, there was a movie where Sinbad was a genie.
It's called Shazam.
No,
No,
Shazam is the
and
one
that's
that
not
Shaq's in.
Shazam. It's called Kazam.
Is he in it? No, he's not in it, right?
No, Shazam, the movie he's talking about, wasn't Shazam. It was called Kazam
And that's with Shaq.
with Shaq.
Yeah.
Nah, there was one with Sinbad.
No, dude.
You cannot find it.
That's an example
You
of the
can
Mandela
you
effect.
can do a Goog on it right now.
Yeah.
It is not coming
It
up.
doesn't exist. But Berenstein
All right.
and Berenstein Bears.
So there's an explanation for this, though.
Yeah,
the
in
movie-
2012, they fucking fired up the LHC and it tore fucking our reality. And now our reality is not the same reality that it was. Some small things changed. There's a glitch in the matrix. We're out. Dude, we don't know what these people are. 17 miles of something. Dude, God. We talk about God all the time.
And you know what?
The speed of light. Nothing can go with the speed of light. What are we talking about?
I kind of had a Mandela effect moment as soon as you started talking about this, because I could have sworn that the Large Hadron Collider was in existence way before 2008. Like
They've
thought,
been building it for a while, but there was the first time they actually
Fired
started
it
it
up.
up was in 2008.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know about this Mandela effect, but I do. I can guarantee you that sometimes they would put out a preview of a movie. I remember this from another movie called Casper, and the voice was different. And I think maybe Sinbad was gonna do that movie, and at the last minute he was swapped
Wait,
for
Casper-
Shaq. And you may have saw a preview of him doing it, because I know I've seen the preview
No,
of him
but that
doing it.
like people have like researched it. Like people
Yeah,
have looked
there's
online.
no-
there's
there's
nothing.
no-
Somebody's
There's,
messing with you. They were
that's
like,
called the Mandela effect.
no, that's called the problem with the internet.
No, but there's also the Looney
All
Tunes
right,
thing.
and then also to be fair,
What Looney Tunes thing?
So Looney Tunes, I should have looked this up before, but
How-
like it's
how-
not we remember it spelled Looney Looney
Yeah,
Tunes
tunes.
Toons, but it's like spelled Tunes,
Yeah.
like a song. And I'm like, I could have sworn it was spelled the other way around. And
it was Tiny Toons, TinyToons.
I don't
Hang on a
remember.
second. Now I gotta check.
Yeah, you have
this
to look
out.
it up.
No, dude, I always remember Looney Tunes being LOONEYTUNES.
Now here's
That's
a
how it
problem.
always
though.
was.
Our brains are not super reliable for recalling information. And I mean, we have to be honest about that.
Yeah,
If
you can get like
if you have an accident report. I was a rent-a-cop for a long time at the mall. When you're doing a report like that, and then people start recalling, and then if you wait an hour and ask that person to recount it again, dude, I'm telling you, like 70% of
90%
that
different.
story is different.
Yeah, I've encountered those situations. Your brain just does process it, but then where it stores it, sometimes it's hard for you to figure out in your own head where that's actually stored. More crazy than that is that there's not actually proof that your brain is anything but the storage closet just for thoughts, and it's what makes the body actually function. But where you are actually separate from that, like you go
Man.
into your mind into a file department, and that's how you remember things. That's why repetitiveness moves it up in the file, because it thinks its uses more. It's crazy, bro. But you're not actually the person in your brain. Whatever you are, you're using this as your operating system, and you would be doing that
I mean,
in
that
a
sounds
monster
like
truck.
that sounds like a simulation, bro.
All right, so I think I
think it
just
is kind of a
debunked the
simulation.
Looney Tunes thing.
All right.
Because the reason why you remember that.
Is it Tiny Toons thing that you just said?
So
What?
Looney Tunes is LOONEYTUNES.
That's how I remember.
But Tiny Toons was TINYTOONS.
Why? That's so stupid.
Just to fuck with our brains, I guess.
That's crazy.
Well, they probably just wanted to make it different. But you know what? I didn't watch Tiny Toons, so this is probably why this wasn't a problem for me.
What do y'all think about the Simpsons having a time traveler on the writing staff?
because they always seemingly
they predict, they like literally like images,
frame for frame,
like images,
Trump coming down
the golden escalator.
Okay.
Do you know much about probability?
I mean, I've heard of the concept.
Dude, the Simpsons were on since we were born.
All right.
Yeah.
Also, think about
80
how
well, like 3 or 4 years after.
Yeah.
think about how humans work too. Okay. So just think about this for a moment, because this is why I'm always trying to debunk y'all on this stuff, and I'm going to try to do it here. All right. What really happens is you're just a bunch of interactions on this planet, right? So what you run into is there's a high probability that a staffer at some point saw that Simpsons episode, and it's called Total Recall, where They looked at those golden escalators. It is in his hotel that he has golden escalators, so that's a probability thing. And somebody said, you know what would be really good? If you came down these escalators when you did it. And they might have recalled that episode visually while not understanding that they recalled that episode actually.
But it was like 20
That's
years.
not
It was
really
like
that
20
crazy
years
to me.
before he got elected president, though.
Yes,
Yeah,
because they would
but
have
he
watched
was-
it as a kid.
Yeah,
and
because
that moment
there was
would've-
probably video of him. Now, here's the thing.
like deja
it
vu.
lines up pretty crazy, bro, because there was even that poster that falls down, like with the kid with the thing. And I mean, it's
that I don't
shot
know
for shot, bro.
about,
You got to
but-
watch it.
We gotta talk about.
Or you run into the theory of
We-
the whole government is scripted and you're just seeing that the whole government is scripted and TV is their tool and now the internet is their tool.
that
and
is
that's a
what it
higher
is.
probability. So they created that moment and they were warning you they were creating that moment. That's also a high
That'd be kinda-
probability.
that'd
All
be
right,
kinda dope.
let's. We got to get into some aliens. We covered CERN. We covered the Mandela effect. We're gonna make this a part 2, I think.
All right. I'm ready for a part 2.
All right.
Peace out.
Thank y'all.